or how to find out the effective title so that reader must get the interest out of it. The very first thing that the reader will see that the title of the paper, and if it is not attractive, if it is not effective, if it is not reflecting the work, then your paper will not be read by anyone. And in today's environment, the very first thing is that we want to get proper recognition of our work in the research community. So you might be knowing that people are asking now oftenly, what is the citation, how many citations of your paper? You have done something, and let's say it is being published somewhere. So publishing is the one happiness that you will get. But what about after that? If nobody is citing your paper, so slowly and slowly you will get demotivated. So if somebody is citing your paper, it gives you some psychological boosting power so that you can work better. Because somebody has recognized your work, it gives you some motivation. So any part of the technical writing, either in terms of the title or abstract, introduction, the problem definition, the proposed solution, the result discussion, conclusion, each part is having its own importance. I think most of you will agree with me. If you want to search some paper to understand the state of our work skillfully, talk of any research topic, either it is in history, geography, electrical engineering, computer science, electronics, you talk of any domain, what we need to think of the idea. And from where we get the idea? So the most of the time, either you will get the idea, if you are sufficient intelligent, then you might be getting some idea, some problem around you itself. Otherwise, what we will be doing, you will be reading some of the paper written by some other authors, and then we will try to find out what are the problems in your research interest area, what are the problems that has been solved, or what else can be done. This will be idea we get it from the work published by the someone. This topic, we have to think very cautious about our understanding and whether we are sufficient enough to cultivate our idea, our thought, our work into proper statements or not. So, before starting the understanding the different terms, what is to be done or what is to be avoided, we have to understand this. In writing, as I told you, we are not, by birth, we are not very much comfortable with this foreign language. But this language is what, if you think it's a foreign or the other's language, we will never be comfortable with it. It's just one medium to represent our idea. If you are able to write my idea in mother tongue, why not it is in English? Only thing is what we have to understand what is to be done and what is not to be done. So these are some basic steps that we have to take care at most. If you have written, some of you have written a research paper, then except some technical content, the normally we used to get the comment on the typo mistake, that is the spelling, and the grammar. So these two terms we have, and there are many tools available, the free as well as the licensed versions of the tools also. So either of them that you use it, don't be in a hurry. It's not the exam. Writing a technical paper is not writing an exam. You have to devote the sufficient amount of time. Look at the each and every perspective of that paper that you are going to submit. And once you are confirmed, this takes the time. In fact, normally I used to of any research book. Today also you will realize why it requires that much time. So first thing is what you have to be very much cautious about the spelling and then grammar. Most of the time you will see the people are using the acronyms. But normally acronyms you have to avoid. You start using the acronyms throughout the day. Next is what? The small just use we used to write the equation one. Even though also if you are not going to use in the text, but your equation must be numbered. In the same way, tables and the fields. Table and figure will have the caption. But the caption, even the caption itself is having the sum. If you see the very good, before saying anything, I would suggest all of you that whenever you access the journal paper, first you look at what is the impact factor of the journal. You don't read the paper of here and there. Try to, if you are in engineering background, so in case of civil engineering, you have the American Society of Civil Engineering ASC, Mechanical Engineering ASC. These are the some standard journals where you will get the very good work. So you will actually understand the research. So in that paper, you will see the captions, the bad journals and the good journals, and you will compare the captions for the table and figure. In the bad journals, while reading the caption, you will not be able to understand what is about this table or field. Whereas, if you see the style of the good journals, by reading the caption itself, you will understand what is this figure or what is for this table. So the giving the caption is the one art that we have to understand. Another point of the caption, in the case of the figure, we always write the caption just below the figure. In case of the table, we always leave the caption just above the table. Another mistake that we do, whenever we use some quantity, it has to be detailed. And wherever it is possible, always avoid the footnotes until unless it is being mentioned in the journal that this kind of information you can share in the footnotes. Never see that we are writing in statements by using the future tense. Now, written as it is being shown here, the gallium arsenic substrates were cleaned by boiling in trichloroethylene. Something better. Right? So you have to understand in what way we have to frame my idea in the statements. Grammatically, if you will see the first statement, it's not wrong, but it's not effective as well. So always we have to think that the statement that we are writing. The last one, if you will see, the many times we accept it, but this is also not acceptable. We clean the gallium arsenic substrates by boiling them into trichloroethylene. So if you see these statements very carefully, it looks like that these all are grammatically correct, but not effective. Now, number one, I will give you some example with the help of this. I and we are not important in the research paper. What is important? Your work. So if you'll say that I design this algorithm, let's say one statement I am giving, I design, or we, if more than one author is there, then you might be writing, we design the algorithm for clustering. This is the statement. So in this statement, it seems that you people are, we means the authors are important, but actually work is important. So the same statement can be written as, this paper presents a design of clustering algorithm. So this paper means the paper that we are talking, so work. Either you say that this work, this paper, this algorithm, this paragraph, so and so. So always try to use the third person rather than the first person. I and we, nobody likes in the research community. It seems that you are saying that you are important, but actually the problem and its solution is important. So instead of using I or we, you can always say that this one, this algorithm, this paragraph, and so on. Okay? These are some references where you can go through and see that whether I am getting the correct input to write the scientific paper. Okay? So if you see the first quote, if the reader is to grasp what the writer means, the writer must understand what the reader means. There is a thin line difference. Now I was telling that it's not that you think that the reader has to understand my work. No. You write in such a way that user understand in the flow. They should not face the problem in understanding the statement. They might be facing the problem understanding the word. It's okay. But understanding the statement, the English literature is not good. Okay? Now, this is the important one. If you go through any good journals, we have the title and the abstract portion. I am leaving those. But the major portion is what? Introduction. In between, we have our work. And then finally, we are discussing with some conclusion. So you can see in introduction, let's say some of you might be working in one area, wireless sensor network, and using the term, the domain, the wireless sensor network. So first, in the introduction section, if you will see that at least one paragraph, it will be the true gender. True gender means the very first statement could be the very good definite statement you might be writing about the different applications of the wireless sensor networks. So these statements are general statements. So in that flow from the general, we have to switch to the particular problem. Right? For example, if I am saying the WHN applications are the numerous from the civil to the military domain, from a small scale to the large scale. In that, the detection of fire in the forest is the one of the most important problem that we, if we are able to recognize this problem early, is the detection of the fire, then we could save our forest. And the saving the forest is not only saving the forest. Saving the forest means we have to conclude or we have to flow in such a way that your problem related to the environmental should be tapped. So I need to say we will start from the general statements in the introduction section, come to the particular one, and from that you define your problem. So this the middle part, the procedure. So from that you define the problem, give the solution, do the some experimental, perform the analysis, do the discussion, conclude the work. So in the discussion now you see again we are doing from particular, we are coming back to the general. So this is what, this is very much important to understand the flow. If you are not able to maintain the flow between the paragraphs, the user may lose the interest of reading your paper. So that somebody will read, you just think of, why should I read your paper? You should ask this question. Why should my paper should be read by someone else? So your paper must be having a very good work. Your paper must be having the comparison with the state of art work. Nobody wants to do the problem that we have discussed in the 1990. We can only discuss the previous problem where we can propose some better solution. Then how do I know the better solution? Until unless I know the state of art work of that problem. So in that we have to maintain the flow between one paragraph to another paragraph. It's not that in the first paragraph I am talking about something. I was just telling you the general to particular. Instead of saying, giving the background of the WSN, giving with some flavor of the different applications, directly if I am jumping to the, let's say, the fire detection of the forest using WSN, and directly being. So it seems that we have jumped to some particular problem without giving the requirement of it. So research is what? It is always to help our society. You don't think that your paper will convert it into some product. May not be. But your paper might be contributing something which can be extended further by either by you or somebody else. And in these terms, after the 5 or 6 or 10 years, some products will come which will help, certainly it will help the society. So the flow of the paper is also important. So if somebody asks you, what is the research work? As I was telling you, you don't think that whatever you have worked upon, it's an end of it. So your research paper cannot be a complete description of the work. Means it will not be finally landing to your some product. So what is this about? About something, some problem. That problem, to solve that problem, we are proposing either some algorithm, some model, some process, some reasoning, so and so. While doing some research work, in many research work, at least in today's environment, you will see the IT industry or this whole community, logical connection with your work and the material. No matter in which field you are interested. As I was telling, some students might be working on the history course. So for them, the research paper will be on some artist work, maybe. The working on the psychology course might be working on the childhood development. So writing a paper requires the first thing is, don't be in hurry to write the paper. Of course, you will not get any recognition. Wherever you will go, you will be asked, either you are a student or faculty, you will be asked that what is your research paper. The next question people will ask, so what is the work you are doing and where it is being published? I believe many of us will feel shy to answer this question, where it is being published. And in case of some employment purpose, if you are saying some bad journals, even though you are performing good in the board, you will not be selected, you will never be selected. You know reason? People understand that it is his hobby to give some junk work and to be published in some junk journals. And they don't want such kind of the resources in their organization.